This week's AP Top 10. Next week we'll start with the rankings, but this week the AP Top 10 brought to you by PlayStation. Georgia and Cincinnati stay 1-2 despite the fact that the Bearcats had their first sleepy performance of the season. Alabama slips past Oklahoma after the Sooners struggled with hapless Kansas, and Ole Miss is checking in at the bottom of the top 10. So that's the way the AP voters have them stacked up. Let's go with your guys and what you guys think are the top 6. Kirk, start with you. How do you stack up the top 6?
Yeah, I have Georgia, like everybody in the world has it, number 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 is what makes all this subjective and fun. I moved Ohio State up to 2, 57 points per game. The last 4 games they've been out. They pulled off the Dogs last week. They probably could have scored 100. I think they're the most explosive offense in the country at this point, the way C.J. Stroud has settled in at quarterback. I have Cincinnati up at number 3. I know they played Navy. We all know how challenging that can be, even though Navy's not having a great year. But they've been very, very consistent all year. Alabama, to me, with the 1 loss, still up in the top 4. I have some concerns still about their defense. I don't know if anybody can expose them until they go to Jordan-Hare to take on Bo Nix and that Brian Harsin offense. I have Michigan just on the outside at 5, and Oklahoma just because of their defense down at 6 for now, Joey.
Yeah, and I'm going to skip right to number 2 because there's no point in talking about number 1, but I'm going to keep Cincinnati at number 2. And you know, we've been doing this for a number of years, and I'm usually the last to react to a team having one of those Saturdays when they don't look like themselves. And I think Cincinnati just had that, but they found a way to win, so I'll keep them at number 2. I agree with everything you said about Ohio State's offense. The defense has played better, so I got them at number 3. Alabama seems just to be a wild card to me. So we've seen Alabama look like the best team in the country at times, and we've also seen, especially on the defensive side, at times they've looked average. You know, in the Florida game, and the Texas A&M game, and then the first half against Tennessee, the entire team looked like they weren't quite sure that the game had begun. But I'll keep them at number 4 just because they've shown the ability to play really good football. At number 5, I got Oklahoma. They're different now with Caleb Williams at quarterback, but still concerns on the defensive side. And I will take Michigan as my number 6, but I could very easily and feel comfortable putting Michigan State in that spot also.
Yeah, I don't care what it is right now. I think, you know, if you guys have an order, if Joey's is different than Kirk's, it doesn't bother me in the slightest. I kept mine exactly the same from a week ago. I kept OU at 2, UC at 3, Bama at 4, Ohio State and Michigan. I think we're going to find out everything we need to know in the next coming weeks from all of these teams. I think we can poke holes in UC and say they look bad and you can move them down. I think you can poke holes in obviously Oklahoma said they look bad and you can move them down. But I do think you have to weigh the losses in there at some point. They have to matter. So right now I do have the teams without the losses ahead of the teams with the losses.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.